Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great find. This is basically a great find. George Soros may owe as much as $6.7 billion to the establishment. These are dollars, I believe. And this was basically $6.7 billion after 40 years and everything else. Basically, $28 billion. I do not know if that is to just the American government or if that is to organizations in general, if that is across his personal and company assets. I do not know all the major details, but what I do know is these figures could very easily offset at least a smaller portion of the national debt if this would actually be enforced and collected. So his basic deferment would be $6.7 billion. And over time it has become $28.8 billion. And everybody, including Fox News, is talking about this because this guy is the one who everybody puts forward to do the rallies for Ferguson and all the major things that happen in the social occupation movement. And no doubt, I bet to some degree, he also is responsible for the BLM 3%er movement. I know we're all going to say that that's not, that's everything else, but that is what this is. This guy could easily be involved in that as well. And this guy, this money is still probably nearly changed to him, since he's probably seen hundreds of billions, if not a few trillions in his lifetime. But this is the situation here, and everybody's talking about this. It's even on Fox News, Fox Business. My bad.
Now, this billion Soros facing a heavy tax bill. He's called rich to pay tax, but now say success is delayed.
Notice that $6.7 billion in taxes on income deferred and reinvested in his fund. Interesting, folks. Very interesting.
Paying a whopping $6.7 billion payment for years. And it's all thanks to a loophole in U.S. law.
You heard that, folks. So he actually has to pay this $6.7 billion. I guarantee you they want to collect. I guarantee you they want to collect. And as such, somebody eventually wants that money. I mean, think about it. If people really invested the money, imagine how much that could actually offset our national debt. If we truly had a system that worked for every industry and everything, I mean, that could easily be used to wipe out any need for any funding in the educational facilities, whether it be rebuilding, making smaller classrooms, any number of things. This would be used for that. It could be used to start a kick-ass, pardon the pun, healthcare system, whether it be an organization that oversees it or an organization that does research within it, not to mention many, 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 many other things. So I guarantee you they're going to start going after these big guys who do owe these amount of money. Soros, as you know, is not a native to the United States. I believe he is a Bulgarian immigrant. I could be wrong on the terms, but this is the idea, folks. These guys are no longer big enough to not be in the spotlight. The Rothschilds, the Soros, all the major players are starting, or all the ones that are invested in the system, quote unquote, that's the way I'm going to put it, are now allowed to be in the spotlight and take part in the spotlight, such as, paying debts to society like this and everything else. So, basically, folks, this is what I want to say. It is basically his turn to pay this, and I guarantee you, if he was told, hey, you got to pay this, they'd make payment arrangements and it would be settled. And I'm not even saying, oh, he's never going to pay. As I'll be honest, he runs investment companies and holding firms and stuff. Even if he owed like $100 billion, the idea that there wouldn't be some kind of a payoff or, forgetting the word I want to use right now, arrangement where he pays like 10% up front to wipe out the debt would definitely work. I guarantee you, being the probably nearly $800 billion man that he probably is or has seen in his lifetime, he could easily afford to wipe $6.7 billion off by one or two congressmen or something along that lines that his people could make a phone call to, and they could easily get that deferred and get that deferment off and everything else. So this is actually quite amazing that these guys are starting to get to a point where, everybody now can look into what he's doing and see this stuff. I don't want to use the term too big to fail, but it's getting to that point where, everybody's on record, or at least everybody allegedly. I know there's people who are worth trillions, names I've heard in private circles who are worth trillions, who supposedly would make Gaddafi and his, what'd they say he was worth, like 800 billion, and his offshore assets were at least 100 trillion. I mean, would make Gaddafi would make him look like he needs to be in a soup kitchen. And they would make Soros, on paper at least, look like he needs to be in a soup kitchen. So I wanted to share this with you because this is actually quite amazing. Thank you.